guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Wednesday, September 15th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Hello, hello, hello. Always glad to see everybody, always glad to be here. 365 days of the year, guys. Woo! Love it. Good to see everybody. Come on in. Hi, Rhonda. Okay, a blessing. No problems with comments tonight. Woohoo! This is a good thing. So glad to see everybody. Welcome to my Facebook peeps. I've got my people who come in and chat, and I've got my people who come in and watch. Hi, Ashley. Hello, Mary. Good to see everybody. And of course, I would be remiss for not saying hello to my YouTube people. Hi, Wandy. Oh, so glad to see everybody. All right. Let's see what we got. So last night I blinged up the sky on this Hannah Carlzon piece. It is pretty full, but I intended it to be that way. This is Spirit Animals. I'm still working on the bottom area. And one of the things that I wanted to create here was a high contrast. And this contrast is, I don't want to say chaos, but for the moment I'll say that is chaos, and then the bottom is serenity. So remember, guys, your pieces, they need to express. Your pieces need to be expressive on what's going on. Don't just color, be expressive. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. I've got a couple more stars to do. And then I'll be working on the bottom. I've got a few things here. Any repetitive stuff I'll be doing myself. Let me know if there's anything on this that you want me to show you, okay? All right. Hi, Sandy. I've been poking at this wreath as well. I hope you guys have been enjoying the coloring on this. And I've been working on our Labrador, Rita from Guatemala. Miss Rita, how are you? I hope you're having a decent day. And I've also been working on our little pumpkin truck. And you're seeing how this is coming to life as well. And you seem to really enjoy the way I was doing the flowers last night. All right. So let me work on this wreath a little bit. Dun, dun. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And the theme of this Hi Amy, saying hello from work, can't make it online, getting off at 7 p.m. Okay. Come in when you can. Rhonda says, I love the wreath, truck, and puppy, can't decide what's my favorite. Alright, so let's play around with this a little bit. You know I do bits and pieces of this for you so we can move around a little. Alrighty. Let's get coloring. So you know that I always like to tidy up a little bit. Look at that. Zoom in. Zoom in. And Rhonda, I want to compliment you on your piece that you've been doing with the girl in the kitchen. Beautiful piece. That one's going for her granddaughter. Oh, and Rhonda, what I wanted to say, have you thought about adding a little add-on in there? I was going to say a tea bag, but the tea bag would be really large. Zoom in. All right. So this project is interesting in itself because we talked about this, that when you don't know what the things are, that can be a challenge. Hello, Angela. So Angela says she spoke to the doc today. He's going to refer me to a cardiologist. I don't have to have the stress test because I'm high risk. So he thinks they will go with an angiogram, and if I need a stent, they will do that at the same time. Perfect. Oh, Angela, I hope they get this resolved for you. So Rhonda, well, Angela, good news. Keep us informed, please. All right. So I've gone ahead and I'm darkening my in-between areas here. And then I'm going to use my Faber-Castell 103 Ivory. This is from Rhapsody in the Forest. I don't know what this thing is. It's that mushroom thingy, I think, that pod. Remember the other ones that we did, like this? And I'm deliberately letting the brown come in, so I'm going over the top of both. And that's going to tint that inside portion. Does that answer your question, Rita? Now, by going over this whole thing and letting it blend the brown and move that brown around for me, it's giving me the exact look that I want. Oh man, Angela's having problems again. Reception is bad, missing 2 words out of every 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put some little marks on this. We're thinking it's a shroom, a mushroom. I'm calling it a shroom. Mushroom. And then blending a little bit. That last brown, by the way, was my Crayola Extra Deep Almond. And then this is where you come in with your either your extra dark gray or your black. Wanda likes to use the 90% gray. Excuse me, 70% gray, right, Wanda? On the Faber-Castell. It's one of those. She'll tell me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. This is my Arteza Expert, and it's my Stone Gray. So I'm going to tuck in that gray in the folds, and we'll get a real nice dimension here. And then a little bit on the edges. Yeah, what's the one that you normally use, Wanda? You mentioned it one time. Is it 90%? Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and maybe put some just some little marks on here. %. Yeah, I think that was it. Thank you. Zoom out. Zoom out. Isn't that cool? And then just come back in with your ivory and lighten it as you need be. Blend, lighten. But you can see those natural marks, and that's what looks really cool. Okay. Now, I'm just going to go over my berries a little bit with my ivory. I want to soften those up as well. There we go. Much, much better. Yeah, Wanda says, honestly, I have not been using my Prismas lately, using my 520 Bruts. Just wish they blended like the Prismas. Yeah, I know. I know that you really like those Bruts. Oh, you'll adjust beautifully, I'm sure. Yeah, Ashley, the Bruts don't blend as smoothly. I'm sorry, not smoothly is not the right. Easily as the Prismas, but they have gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Have you seen me use? So don't discount them, Ashley. Okay, zoom in, zoom in. And that's right, Wanda, I agree with you. She says, I haven't found an oil pencil that blends like Prismas. Faber-Castell doesn't even blend as well as the Prismas do. But they're super high quality pencil. Guys, you just got to adjust. Okay, let's work on this little thingy. This'll zoom in. And I decided that I wanted to go with a red tint. This is a Passion Fruit Arteza A050. How pretty is that? Use your colors, use your rich colors. Now, I don't want to particularly soften this, so I don't really want to use my Faber-Castell. And this is where I'm going to use my blender pencil and go ahead and just very lightly blend this. And smooth this out just a little bit. Do not scrub. Okay. Now we're going to come in, so see how beautiful that looks overall. And now I'm going to come in with my Storm Gray. Zoom in. Let's see if we can get you a nice close view here. And I'm going to start to shadow in the pine cone. No, it's not a pine cone, it's a burr or something. I think it's a burr. So I'm using a little bit of this gray now, just to start to give this puppy some dimension. Zoom out. And again, looks a little messy, but it isn't. And as I'm very carefully going in between those little, what do I want to call these things? Nodules. We're starting to get some really nice dimension on here. Now this one's very teeny tiny, so it's a little bit hard to work with, but we'll get there. And now I'm going to use my Pirate Black Brett Funner. And right near the edges on this, I'm basically outlining the edges. And like I said, it's a little bit tricky because it's a smaller piece, but if you can do it, it's worth it. Pretty. And it's worth it to poke at it until you get it to the point where you want it to be. And now I'm going to come in with my Arteza white gel pen. And this is my real narrow one, it's the 0.6. And I'm going to put in a little bit of white, just little taps on there. How pretty is that? There you go. Zoom out. And like I said, this thing is ridiculously small. Zoom out. Zoom out. La-da-dum, la-da-dum. Okay. Anybody have any questions about this overall piece? I hope you've been enjoying it and watching me build it. And I think what I'm going to do before I do that pine cone down there, because I know that I'll get my hand into it, you guys know me. Let's go ahead and play around with our orange piece. Excuse me. All right. So let me pull my... Thank you, Sandy. Well, guys, I'm doing this way for a specific reason, because I want you to see these pieces coming out and coming together. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm using a Primrose Yellow by Brett Funner. And that's out of the 520 set. Now remember, this is an orange. So I'm just laying my preliminary colors here. Right now it looks like a lemon. Lemon tree. And then I'm going to use my cadmium yellow by Starjoy, color 027. And we're going to go ahead and start tinting that outer peel. There we go. All right, now when you do your sections, you have a choice. You can color the overall base color, and I'm still working with my Starjoy 27. Your base color, you know I like to tint. Or you can put your darker colors on the outside like I'm doing here. And notice I'm staying out towards the rim. And also notice that it's critical that you do your different patterns on your pieces. Let's put a little bit of the darker down the middle there. And then I'm going to come in with that same yellow, that Primrose Yellow, and fill in those areas that I left blank. Now again, notice that I didn't layer with the Primrose Yellow. So Rhonda says, ILene, I have a similar wreath in one of my books. After I finish my granddaughter's piece, I will pull the video and work on it. Can't wait. Oh, yay! And guys, do me a favor, please, please, please. Well, and it's, you know, it's really not for me. But when you post your works, if you'll reference one of my broadcasts, if it helps you. Because we need to get people in here who don't have companions or are depressed or alone or whatever the case may be, and that they can enjoy the coloring. Okay, so I'm going to use my Caramel Cafe, which is my Brett 5 out of my Brett 520s. And please be sure to tag me. Tag the group. Okay, notice how I'm bringing in that brown now. Yeah, don't tag me, tag the group. Now, I'm going to pull a little bit of that brown on the outside of the rim. And again, guys, I can't say this enough. I just put that brown up in that spot in the corner. I don't want you to think that you have to put it exactly there. Use your own style. A lot of people, when they watch artists teach, they think they've got to color it in the exact same spot. No, you don't. And then they think their work is wrong if they don't do that. Relax, enjoy your coloring, watch how I do it, adapt it, and go forward. And guys, please share this video. Okay. And now I'm going to come in with a darker brown yet. So I had a light gold, a light orange, a darker orange, a lighter brown, and now I've got a darker brown coming in. So this is my Crayola Extra Deep Almond. And I'm concentrating on the edges there because that's going to start giving you your depth. Depth, dimension, detail. Make this orange piece talk to you. Da, 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 da. And what you can also do, of course, is Google the words orange slice and take a peek at that and emulate that. Okay. Faber-Castell Ivory. Da, 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 da. And I'm going to kick in a little bit more of my orange here. Brett Funner 052. This is not the 520 set. If it's got the number on it like that, that's my other Brett Funner. Now remember, every subsequent color that you put on, we're blending the previous ones, right? So, two things. Use it to get your smoothness, and use it to highlight any colors that you want to highlight. Now, I'm going on the darker colors with this, so this is why we're getting the shades that we are. And if you don't like that darker brown in there, don't use it. Just go with your more orangey. Your choice. And then last time I just put in on my last one just a couple of dots. Zoom out. There you go. Isn't that set beautiful? I love it. And this is where, guys, now this is going to start to come together because I was doing pieces and parts for you. And now we're going to go ahead and everything is going to start coming together. All right, let me take a quick peek at something here. All right, so let's start handling a couple of these. Yeah, Sandy says the best part of coloring for me is the coming together. And that's the thing, you know, you'll work and work and work on something, and then all of a sudden, boom. It's just so fascinating to watch, it really is. All right, zoom in. Zoom in. And again, guys, this is where you've got to really let go, because if you don't know what these pieces are, it can throw you. And this is why I really like this particular project for you, especially since I'm showing it to you. Because it compels you to be creative. As soon as you break out of that standard coloring thought, oh, this is a rose, so I have to color it such and such, your pieces are really going to blossom. So that was my Brett Funner 52. And I'm going to grab my Sivo Vivid Yellow, no number. And combine those. Oh, here's my favorite song again. I love this piece. I told you that before. Just something about it. And now I'm going to go ahead and blend in that orange. Oh, I love this piece. Okay. Now remember, too, that this is a wreath and the person that is putting it together for you is using these colorful elements. Excuse me, wrong orange. And then blend over. I'm using the same pencils. So I want you to pretend that the person, the designer, reached into their box. Oh, I think that's part of my rose. Okay. The person reached into their supply box and started picking out these little pieces that they stuck into the wreath. Oh, I hope you guys can hear this piano piece. All right. All right, let me roll around and get some similar pieces here. There's another one. All right, now I'm going to roll around here because I've got similar pieces down here. Excuse me for turning this on you. Bye, Angela. Okay, so the best way really to attack this piece, other than watching this and me staying on camera for you, is think of it as though you're designing this wreath. I'm always trying to think of ways to get you to think about your pieces. So you're the florist, you're putting this wreath together. Oh, Rhonda says the add-on I'm working on is so small my eyes are literally getting cross-eyed. Oh, take a break, Rhonda. Seriously. Okay, let's take a look at this. Sandy says, ILene, was there someone in this group that could use coloring books? Absolutely. Rhonda, Rhonda's friend Jenny could use some books. What'd you have in mind, Sandy? Zoom out. You have a new one that you won't do? Okay. Talk to Rhonda about it. What one is it, please? Oops, let me get this up. Zoom out. What's the title of it, Sandy, just out of curiosity? Okay, now. Yeah, Rhonda, will you coordinate with Sandy? Yeah, we've got that book, Fairies by Ava Brown, I'm pretty sure. You don't like it? How come you don't like it? Alright, let's clean up this. Now, I'm going to do one more little bit on this wreath. Rhonda, will you coordinate with Sandy? Okay, and don't forget guys, on the other side of this are my deer with the antler that I've been working on. Don't have much more to do on this. Okay. So I'm going to do one more little thing on this. Oh, Rhonda, then that may not be a good book for her. I don't know. Rhonda, will you coordinate with Sandy? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to work on these little sprigs here that are on the outside. Zoom in. Zoom in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my base color on these, which I want to be a yellowish green. And I'm using a Master Color 396. That's the pencil. Yes, ma'am, exactly. And I was going to suggest that. Sandy said, Rhonda, do a flip through on YouTube so you can see. Exactly. All right. So let's go ahead and get these defined. And notice now that these are different than these little bunchy things right here. So right now I'm just doing my little sprigs here. Alright. And if you're doing a wreath like this that you have repetitive pieces, this will help you with your other areas because it'll start setting the color tone for you. Now, it may seem a little silly to do this, but whatever it takes to help you establish your colors, alright, let me roll around here. Okay, and we've got a little bit on the inside. Now, if you were starting this project and you hadn't colored anything on it, this is something that you might want to do if you know what your sprig colors are going to be and just start establishing your color theme. Sandy says she has a notebook and writes down notes if I find certain colors I like so I remember what I used. Yeah. That's an excellent idea. And Angela, you were talking about those rhinestones that I put on the back of this. I have to color over the top of them. I can feel the bumps coming through. So I've got to be really careful. I actually have a little notebook that I use myself, and I write down my reminders as well. For example, I love that Faber-Castell cinnamon color, which, by the way, when I ordered them out of Dick Blick, they were back ordered on. Okay. So let's take a look. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. Let's see here. So Sandy says, still waiting on my ivory pencils, won't be here till September 24th. Oh, ordered them a week ago. I wonder what the deal is with that. I don't know, maybe people are just starting to listen to me. I'm glad I ordered my dozen. Oh, I didn't finish my sentence, so maybe people are starting to listen to me now that I'm using this ivory. Okay, this is my little gummy eraser. So I'm just patting this here just to clean that up. Oh man, I am so loving this piece. I really am. And again, if this piece is not your cup of tea, that's fine. What do I always say? I want you to learn the methods, the techniques. And then you can use them elsewhere. Okay, I'm going to use my Faber-Castell. This color is, what is it? Rotel Sanguine number 188. And I've got 2 pine cones together. Zoom in. Now, I had a little bit of a smearing problem because I made a boo-boo. You guys know that sometimes I jump the gun because when I'm demonstrating a spot, I can't, I have to leave areas. I can't let them dry overnight when I'm doing this. So I had a little bit of a smear here, which is no biggie deal. I'll clean it up. And then go ahead and color around it. Don't let stuff like that throw you. Rhonda says that this wreath is one of her favorites. Okay. Yeah, Rhonda said my ivory is due September 24th also, only ordered 5 days ago. Interesting. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to work on this pine cone. I've done several of them for you already. And I want you to notice that I'm using now a whole different shade of brown. Why? No 2 pine cones are alike, of course. And let's talk about that a little bit. If you're doing this piece and you want your pieces to be identical, have at it, guys. So you can go through and on this huge wreath, you can go ahead and tint all your pine cones the same colors. If you think, however, that you want to do something a little bit different and let them vary, then of course just color them individually. But don't color over the edges like I just did. Honestly, I really have to be in the right mood to do this for you. And how pretty is that color? Hi, Kathy. Kathy S. is in the room. Kathy Skowronski. I'm missing Gina Papademetrio. I haven't been able to, I can't say her name when she's not here. Or I don't say her name. So Gina, if you're listening, come on in. Now, remember guys, I'm doing something like this. Skowronski, yeah, Why, do most people butcher it? Okay, now we're going to go in for a little darker brown. Now, you had the choice of tinting the whole pine cone or starting with your darker color underneath these little, what do you want to call them? Spines. So in other words, I could have done the darker brown to outline it like this, the darker part, and then done the lighter part. You know how we color a petal doing that. So either tint your whole pine cone or do your darker color towards the inside first and then come out. Yep, if you join Coloring Book Cafe website, they will send you 30 of their picks for free to download. Good going, Kathy. You screwed up his name when you met him, when you met John. So I got it right and you didn't, and I'm not even married to the guy. Oh man, look how beautiful this is looking now. So we've got our tinted brown. Well, obviously he forgave you enough to marry him, right? Well, your kids are going to learn their alphabet pretty quick. Okay, now I want you to notice something when I'm doing this. Even though I was shading each individual level, I want you to notice that I'm also darkening on this side. I mean, I could have done it on this side as well, but I'm doing a little bit more darkening overall and in the center. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? "22 years, congratulations." How did you meet your husband, Kathy? All right, everybody see how I'm just adding a general shade on this left-hand side. Zoom out. It's a shadow. See it? Guys, play with your pine cones as you're doing them. And Sandy says it'll be 34 years for her this September 26th. Oh, congratulations, Sandy. So Kathy says, thank you. We met at work. I was walking and not paying attention and ran into him. Okay, now I'm going to take my Pirate Black. So Kathy, was it love at first sight? Zoom in. All right, everybody see now how underneath these little ridges here, these little layers, this is where I'm adding my black. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And again, this is my Pirate Black. So Sandy says we've been through a lot, but it's wet, but it's better or worse till death do us part, they say. Okay, everybody see how I'm running the shading now around this? Any questions about how I'm doing that? And I'm blending out that black on top of, see it? The layers. To give that a little shading as well. Is everybody clear how I'm shading this pine cone? Oh, Sandy said no, we were both dating other people at the time. Then about a year later we started talking and then he asked me out. Cool. And then Sandy says 3 more weeks till my first grandson will be here. Oh, Sandy, that's cool. You go, guys. I'm so proud of you guys. That's great. Guys, please share this broadcast while I'm thinking about it. Okay, now you can decide on how dark you want to make that pine cone. Zoom out. Zoom out. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's go ahead and touch this up a little bit with our white. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And you know that my pen of choice is my Arteza. Yeah, I like my Arteza pencils as well. Okay, I'm just loosening the ink in my pen. Remember I told you if your pens are not coming out the way that you want, just drop them from a height, put the cap on and drop them from a height. Yeah, I love the Arteza pencils. I've been using them tonight. Now notice how I'm curling this white piece, this white line around my inner line here. Think of those details, guys. Now don't get too regular with them, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glop a little more white here to make it look like that snow stuck on there. Be very careful that you don't get into too many patterns. See how I varied it on this area here? Da, da, da. Now, again, however much you add on here is up to you. But you want to be careful that you don't get, number one, into a pattern. See how I'm smushing some more white in the center than I did on the outside. In other words, you don't want it to look contrived. Hold on here. So I'm going up pen size here to get There we go. A little better coverage. And don't forget too that when you're going back over an area that you've already put white on, you want to dot it on that previous white, not push it like you would a normal pen. Because otherwise you'll pull off what you put there already. Zoom out. And then just adjust accordingly, guys. Okay, one more pine cone and then I'm moving on to a different project. Lots of time tonight yet. Zoom out. Zoom out. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. All right. Okay, now I'm going to do this last pine cone a little differently. Rather than color the entire base, I'm going to color in my shaded areas first, my darker areas first. I want you to see that difference. Oh, Kathy says, I love this coloring page. When you're done, this needs to go into a frame. Yes, ma'am. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. And again, guys, if I need to get closer or whatever, let me know. Okay, so what I'm doing on this one, this is a Prismacolor. Chestnut, color PC 1081. And guys, I will tell you for fact that this is not a piece that you are going to sit down and work quickly. You need to be in the right mood to do it, that you just want to build it. You're building the page. And I want you to watch now the difference that I'm doing this pine cone than I did the other ones. So again, instead of putting down my base color, like I mentioned, is I'm going ahead now, just like you're doing a flower petal, is I'm putting in my darker color first. Doesn't matter how you do it, whatever floats your boat. And how many times have I told you guys, when you're coloring it, you want your page to what? Tell a story. And when I make the comment, tell a story, I'm referring to how you're coloring it. I could have gone through and done this whole wreath in blues if I wanted to, blue and white, which is actually very pretty. Now, everybody see the difference on how I'm doing this pine cone as opposed to the other? I didn't put a base color in. Let's see here. A little hard to tell which is which. All right, so we'll do that one. And I think that that's it on the edge. This is something else right here. In fact, you guys know that I've been going through and putting this major black background in. So that's what this is going to be right here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with a lighter brown. Again, your choice. Don't go into a panic if you don't have the same color I'm using. So I'm going to use my master color, 4655. And I'm going to blend in now that line between the color I just put in and this color. And guys, if you don't properly blend this together, that should be a seamless transition from the darker color to the next, right? That's why I get on you guys about blending, 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 blending. You want your color to be soft on the page, no popcorn effects, and you want your color to transition beautifully from one shade to the next. So I want you to notice now the difference in this pine cone than the other, because I didn't put down a base color, right? Now, this color I can be a little wilder with my pencil because I'm going over that previous brown and I need to pull it in so that it is smooth transition. Oh, how pretty is that? Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, so let's look at now all our pine cones. Now, remember on how these other pine cones, I had this black in here? So this one, I'll do the same thing, but I don't want to be as enthusiastic with it that I did on the other ones. Zoom in. So this one, I'm just going to lightly shade in my black. I'm working at a little bit of a distance so you can see how this starts to come out. Zoom in. Zoom in. And guys, I am barely touching this. And I want you to notice is how as I'm doing this with the black, how these layers now are just starting to pop. Play with it, guys. Enjoy it. Okay, Sandy, you said, can you show the two after? I'm sorry, what are you talking about, please? Okay, and then I'm going to use my Arteza. Zoom in. And I'm going to pop in a little bit of that white now. Oh yeah, sure. I'll show you the other pine cones to see the difference. Gladly. So a little more white in the center here. Yeah, remember that when you're putting down a base color over your entire object, that base color is going to affect that object in your subsequent layers. So if you want a pure color where you don't want your second color adulterated with the first, that's where you're going to do this separately like I did here. Okay. Zoom out. So this is one where I put the full base color down. This is one where I did it separately. Any questions? And then I'll go back and I'll put my glitter on it later. Zoom out. So let's look at this entire piece again. Zoom out. There you go. Now this flower down here that looked really wonky with the black is starting now to merge in with everything else. So we've got our main pieces, the apples, the roses, the pine cones, and then now we've got this other little stuff to fill in. So I wanted you to see how this would come together. I'm glad you like it. Thank you, Rhonda. It's been fun to do. Okay. And don't forget on the other side, like I said, I've got my little reindeer here. I'll get that frame done. The bells, the little sweater, and the trees, and I'm done with this piece. Well, as long as you, and I appreciate your comments about how nice it looks, but as long as you're learning something, that's what I want. But thank you. Oh my. Okay. Say bye-bye. Oh. And I'm just going to use my little gummy eraser just to clean up a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. Zoom out. Puppy or truck? Let's see. Oh, excuse me. So last night I was working on the blue flowers for you. Thought that was pretty cute. Oh, Rhonda said she just framed Abby's birthday picture. Yay! I'll post it in a little bit. Cool. All right, I'll do the puppy. So let's have some fun with this. We've got this grayscale. Oh, Ashley says the truck. Yeah, I think I'll work on the puppy. Look at something here. Ashley, you're biased because you got us that book. All right, let's work on this little napkin here that he's leaning on. Yeah, we can't leave our puppy alone too long. We don't want him to get hungry or anything, right? Do you know, yesterday, I gotta tell you, when I was working on that truck yesterday, the puppy was whining because he wanted attention. Do you know how bad I felt when I had to sit here and listen to that all night? Poor little guy. You know, he said, you brought me to life. I'm hanging on this basket. And then you ignore me for a truck. Go figure. And I had to listen to that the entire time that I was working on this for you, working on that truck. Okay, so let's go ahead. I've got my light, medium, and dark blue. My dark blue is my Brett Funner Nautical Blue. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. And by the way, I haven't forgotten the request to do a very dark grayscale. I'll be glad to do that for you. And then of course, you know, last night that when the puppy was acting up, my cats were going crazy, right? Because they kept hearing that, so they're running around the house trying to figure out what was going on. Okay. So now, as we're looking at this, we've got our dark areas. So again, darkest pencil, right? Is anybody still having problems with grayscale? And I'll remind you again that this grayscale that I'm showing you, this is the coloring that you should be doing if this were line art. And this is why grayscale will enhance your line art coloring, because it starts to teach you where your spots are. Alrighty. And when you're putting your dark down, you want to go ahead and blend that in a little bit. Blending, blending, blending. Even if you're doing wood, blend it. You guys remember when I did the grayscale side by side with the line art, that hobo book? That was fun. And I showed you the difference. Do a search on hobo and you'll find it by, I can't think of her first name. Last name is Valentin, Valin, Valintin. It's like Valentine without the E. Now, if you're doing this picture with me, be careful because this darker line here, that's the shadow on the wood. Okay. Now I'm going to come in and do my light. And my light color is Fjord, Fjord blue. And that is color B57 out of the 520 set. Now, if you want to have really good grayscale, when you do your darkest color, you want to be sure to blend it out a little bit. So in other words, you do your dark spot, but on the edges you want to make it a little lighter because remember, you're going to be coming in with your next color, right? And that's the same thing you would be doing even if it's line art. Everybody clear on what I'm telling you? So right here next to my light now, excuse me, next to my dark, I'm coming in. Wrong color, sorry. I'm doing my light right now. I'll get there in a minute. My brain and my mouth have disconnected for some reason. So again, I'm on the lightest part of my grayscale. Oh man, is this pretty too. So I'm going to leave that white alone, of course, because look how that's popping up that design. Isn't that beautiful? Remember to roll your pencil around so when you lift it, turn it a little bit, teeny tiny bit. Keep that point as sharp for as long as you can. And guys, if you've been hesitating at getting into grayscale, knock it off and get into it. It will help your overall coloring. Okay, let me roll this around just a little bit. And I want you to remember that when I come back and do my medium color, that your medium gray could be like 2 shades of medium gray. And that's where your gray is going to help you. Rhonda said, yes, please try. I think it helped me so much. Love to do grayscale now. Yep. Sandy DeSantos says, I love grayscale. Now, this area here is my medium blue, but notice there's a slight shade here. So I'm going to put the medium blue over that as well, and that'll give me a couple of colors there. So depend on your gray. I've heard people say that they try to completely obliterate their gray. Don't do that. Guys, the gray enhances what you're doing. Okay, medium. Yeah, Rhonda did those battling knights. Oh my gosh, beautiful job, Rhonda. Oh man, I hope you guys... Oh, Sandy says, when I did my first one, I was doing it wrong till I learned from this group. Yeah. Oh man, look how pretty that is, guys. Okay, now here's what I'm talking about. So this wasn't quite the dark blue, the darkest blue. So this and this are still medium. And I want you to watch what happens now when I take my medium pencil and put that over both segments. Well, the problem is with grayscale is there's so many disinformation out there, and you'll have people posting, they'll say, oh, I hate grayscale, yada, 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 and they don't know what they're talking about. They were never taught to do it properly. So they say they hate grayscale, and other people read that, and so they won't even try it. Okay, medium pencil. I'm just going to darken this area just a little bit more. So it's not my dark, but I'm going to enhance that just a little bit more with repeated strokes with my medium pencil. Everybody see that? And you notice also this blue right here, this medium blue, it angles down and comes down beautifully on this. And I'm going to enhance that a little bit too by going over it a couple times with my medium pencil. So I've got all sorts of shading going on because I've got my dark, I have my darker medium, my lighter medium, and then my light color. So if you want to enhance your medium, just go over it a couple times and that gives you a whole new color range. Does everybody understand that? Please let me know that you understand what I'm saying with that. And if you don't understand it, I'll say it again. There we go, got that back. So in effect, I am shading my medium pencil and my medium blue. And once you start adding in those subtleties to your grayscale coloring, gorgeous. Okay, Kathy wants me to say it again, that's fine. All right, so what I'm saying is, this area that I'm doing my medium blue in, I'm tinting part of it with my medium pencil a little bit darker. So in effect, I have two shades of medium blue. So I've got my darker medium blue, my medium blue, and then my light blue. Does that make sense? Okay, Amy, have fun. Okay, so let's go over here with the medium blue. So what I'm doing, Kathy, is I'm creating different shades on my medium blue. A darker version of it and a lighter version of it. And that's what's making this piece look ridiculously cute. Hold on a second, Amy, I'll pull out and show it to you. Zoom out. take a look. Zoom out. Zoom out. And see this area right here where I'm still working on the medium blue? I'm even enhancing that a little bit more. Part of it, not all of it. Thank you, Wanda. Now, Wanda, you have your own technique for doing grayscale. If you want to pop in and comment, please do. Oh, this TSC, too stinking cute. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Kathy says another coloring page to be framed. This page is so darn cute. Oh yeah. Okay. Now, what I want you to notice on this bottom half, which is predominantly my medium and my dark blues, is I still have a little bit of my lighter blue, which is over here. So it looks like it's going from the darker to the lighter. And by the way, this blue, this dark blue, is sticking out like a sore thumb, so I'm just going to go over the top of it a little bit with my medium blue. Just going to tone that down just a tad. There we go. And I promise you guys, when you do grayscale like this, your eyes are going to become very sensitive to color shifts. Okay. So Wanda says, I started out with grayscale following the dark, light, and middle grays. And now I find myself now I find myself doing my own thing sometimes. I think that's what that says, is I've learned more about how to shade and where it all goes enough to do it on my own sometimes. Exactly, Wanda, exactly. And how many times have I said that about grayscale, where you've heard me say that I'm doing my own thing with it on some of it. So again, I'm noticing that my medium is prevalent here. My medium is partway over here, and then it shifts into light. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and work on some of my light areas real quick. Well, not real quick, but I want to go ahead and define that. And I've said this before when doing grayscale, guys. Don't go brain dead. Don't just sit there and go, oh, this is light, this is dark, you know, this is medium, da da. No. And that's what Wanda and I are saying. You'll start develop your own style, and you'll shift off of, so that's my light blue, okay? Now, here's my medium to get this cup edge. When you first start out on grayscale, do what's indicated. And then as you get more and more comfortable with it, you'll start doing your own thing. Okay. And if you guys want to see a really good example of grayscale and different colors, do a search on quilt, Q-U-I-L-T, in the group, and you'll see the night before Christmas with the guy sitting in bed with the quilt with all the shading I did on that for you. That's an excellent, excellent video. Wanda, you remember that when I did it. Rhonda, were you with the group when I did that quilt? Okay. Now, this dark blue looks jagged and it's unblended, so I'm going back now. And now I'm going ahead and bridging between my dark and my medium. There we go, much better. Yeah, Wanda remembers. Rhonda says, I think so, I'll look it up. Ashley says, me too. And I'm sorry, Ashley, me too meaning you remember it or you look it up. That quilt was so cool with the dark and the medium and the lights on it. Okay, so here's my light blue, here's my medium blue. I'm bringing that together. Okay, Sandy, you go into the very top. There's a little search icon, your magnifying glass, and you type in the word quilt or night before Christmas, and it'll do a search in the group on those words, and you'll see it. Okay, everybody see now that medium is morphing beautifully into that light. And guys, again, this is where you've got to get your blending act together. Okay, now I'm going to take my medium blue, and this is the example exactly that I'm talking about. Let me fix something here. I'm going to take my medium blue, and I'm going to go around my stars a little bit. So this is a darker medium blue than the medium blue that I did around the outside. So I am shading my medium blue with my medium blue pencil around these stars to give that more character. Look at that. Do you see it? Once you get your basic colors down, based on the grayscale that the author has put there for you, that's when you can start going to town and doing some really neat things with it. So think of it as tinting your page. So here I'm coming back with my dark blue. I want to go ahead and just make that a little bit darker up on that edge that comes up. And I'm going to bring my dark down a little bit here because I want to play with it. Look at that depth now because I shaded around my stars a little bit with the same blue. Now look, now listen to me. For that matter, I could even take, if I want my dark blue, this is my darkest blue now, and tap in a little bit of shading around these stars. See it? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, let's look at this whole thing again. Boy, you guys are really getting a good lesson here. Zoom out. Zoom out. See it? And I'm just adjusting a little bit. You can either, it doesn't matter what pencil you adjust with to get your smoothness. Sometimes I use the darker, sometimes I use the medium, sometimes I use the light. Guys, all you're doing is using grayscale as a template. Maybe this will help you get it. How many times do I tell you guys to go ahead and put your colors down? Yep, now the stars are standing out. And now I'm taking my dark blue and I'm playing with the edges here. And bringing, look how I'm bringing that blue up into that star. I'm swooshing it up. You know how I tell you guys to tint your areas before you go into coloring? Think of grayscale as tinting your areas. Okay. All right. You can tell I'm really getting into this tonight, can't you? Zoom in. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my light area on my fringe. And guys, this is why I explain things different ways so that you'll get it. Okay, so this is pretty well my light blue right here, straightforward on that fringe. Now, I'm going to come down over my dark blue a little bit because that's a little harsher than what I want. Same over here. And the thing is, when you're putting your light, medium, and dark colors down, you don't want to slam your pencil into the paper. You're going to tint over your areas just like you were doing this over on white paper, all right? Build up your colors until you hit the shade that you want. Okay. Now notice I have this darker line here, and now I'm just going to come in a little bit from the edge. I'm still using my darkest pencil, and I'm going to mush that and blend it into what will be my medium. And the last thing I want you to do when you've got this light, medium, and dark stuff is to just jam a line down and leave it. No, you've got to blend it in. And in this case, if you want to bring down your dark blue a little more, you can. That's up to you. Okay. So this area down here is prevalent in the dark and the medium blue. So I'm coming in with my medium blue now, and I'm coloring in here. I'm going right over my dark stuff because I want to blend that. I think I wiped out a little dot. Oh well. It's alright. And guys, I really would appreciate your feedback on this tonight. I know that you're coloring, but I'm really getting into some serious teaching here. I want to make sure, not wanna, I hate that. I want to make sure that you get it. And if you don't, ask, please, please, please. If you don't ask and you don't understand, you totally undercut everything I'm doing for you. And don't be embarrassed to ask. Okay, medium and dark blue here. Rhonda says she loves the way the white is popping out in the subtle shading. Yep. Let's see if I can recover my little dot here. And I got one there, I'm sure. Zoom out. What's wrong with that very bottom part? Somebody tell me. Dark blue not blended. That's right. And even up here on this middle section, our lines are a little bit harsh. Now there's a couple ways, and I've been showing you this. You can blend the dark blue by using the dark blue and blending it out. And sometimes you have to do that. If you've got a really bad streak, you may have to use that same color to blend it out. So Kathy says, I like how you said tint the page. Now grayscale doesn't sound so difficult. Yeah, guys, that's all you're doing in grayscale is you're tinting the page. It's tinted for you. And Rhonda says too sharp of a delineation. Exactly. And this is why, like I said, guys, I get on you about your blending. There's just no two ways about it. You've got to get your blending under control. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my light blue here because I don't want to get too dark with it in the center. And if that starts to happen, that you're blending and blending and blending and you're adding so much color that it's getting darker than what you want, blend with your lightest color or blend with your what? Faber-Castell Ivory. Ooh, more light bulbs popping on, right? Pop, 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 pop. I can just see it now. Zoom in. I want you to think of blending as though you're blurring. Maybe that'll help you. Okay, now watch. I'm going to take my ivory because I don't want to add any more blue. And Wanda, you may want to look into this technique as well. we talked, you know, you talked about it before, that putting that oil pencil on top of this stuff is almost like magic. Look at that. And I'm also going to use my ivory over my little ruffle here. Oh, that is ridiculously pretty. Zoom out. I may tweak it some more, we'll see. And what I'm going to do is I'll go over that Arteza with my Arteza white, and I'll put my dots back in. Questions or comments? Any light bulbs go on tonight, guys? Ooh, there's a dark blue in that pencil. Whoops. Okay, that was a surprise. That came from the pencil. Surprise. Okay, now, this being cloth, this works out beautifully because as we blend it, it gets fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier. Now remember though, of course, it gets to a point where you gotta stop blending or else you're gonna get mush. Zoom out. Zoom out. Come on, there we go. And exactly, Wanda, if I do that basket in a medium brown, I think it'll allow the scarf to stand out. Yes, ma'am, exactly. And I want you to think about your non-grayscale pieces when we talk about this blending. Too stinking cute. I love it. I love this scarf. And see, this is why Wanda likes to tweak her pieces as well. And you can see the result of that in her work, right? Okay. Let me play around with the basket a little bit. Give me a moment to pull my browns. Okay. Okay, so I've got my light, medium, and dark browns. I'm trying out a few of my friends' shuttle art. I love it. Pencils. I love the range of colors. Not sure if a little too waxy. What do you think? Shuttle art. I'm okay with them. I've got shuttle arts. They're fine. Don't tell the, good night, Kathy. I'm going to be on for 15 more minutes. Okay, light, medium, and dark. Brown. Good night, Miss Kathy. Okay, so my browns, light, medium, and dark. So my light is my Master 4655. My medium is my Prismacolor PC 1081. I'm sorry, I lied. My medium is my Caramel Cafe Red Funner 520, and then my dark is my Prismacolor. Yeah, I like Arteza. Oh, Rhonda is now officially hooked. I need more colors. I need more colors. Red Funners are great. Artezas, I like them. Zoom in. So let's start up the basket. Now, this entire piece seems to be lighter on the right-hand side than it is on the left, which is fine. That's what I'm noticing anyway. Sandy says she uses Prisma, Red Funner 520, and Arteza pencils. Okay. So I'm going to start my light brown. Zoom in. Everybody see that shadow in there? That's going to look cool. That'll be my medium when I get there. Now remember guys, when you're coloring wood, it's not the streaks on top that make the wood pieces, it's the blending together of the different colors. See, we've got Rhonda hooked now because I want you to notice something about her sentence. She says, thanks for the tip, I have some, but need more range of colors instead of saying but would like. She's hooked. She's hooked. She's a coloring junkie. I am definitely a coloring junkie. Now, I want you to notice that this basket is overall. Ashley says, I don't like castle art. They are okay with other sets, but don't blend well with each other. Yep. And for me, I would never buy Cool Banks again. I don't really like them. Okay, so this basket, excuse me, is overall dark as it is, right? Now, everybody see the subtle shading right here on the side? Okay, now I'm going to pop over to my dark. We can see this like right off the bat, very clear. Now, just like these other colors that I told you that you can shade, when I did the blue, I did different shades of blue when I was using my medium pencil. You can do a dark, or you can use your standard dark. And standard dark is just what you would be using on the pencil. So right next to the shadow right here, it's dark, but I'm not going to pound into the page. So I'm using a soft touch on this dark. That reminds me of Christmas music. Okay, now this shadow underneath here, I'm going to repeat my strokes a little more, so I'm going to go more for a dark. Oh gosh, I hope that makes sense. Alright, let me brush that. And now I'm going to come in with my medium. Oh my gosh, guys, look how pretty that looks already. See it? Zoom in. And as I'm coloring this, I'm not doing a wham bam thank you ma'am. I'm just coming in like I do with line art, and I'm gently tinting that in until I get the colors that I want. Now I'm going to come back with my dark and just edge that a little bit. So that I have a little bit of a shadow right here on whatever this piece of wood is. A flaw in the basket. And then I'll go ahead and come in with the medium. And now I'm going to go back towards my edge where my dark is. And I'm going to blend those edges in. See that? You've got to transition those edges, guys. And if you're not doing that, that's where you're going to have problems. Now I'm going to come back in with my dark because I just want to enhance that just a little more. And let's see, I've got a little dark here in the basket as well. Inside. There we go. Now, I want to blend that, but I don't want to fuss with my browns because I'm really happy with what they are. So now I'm going to take my ivory. Watch this. And blend that in. How pretty is that? Oh my gosh, smooth as a baby's butt, right behind. Pretty, pretty, pretty. You guys still with me? Now, I'm going to take my medium because I want to show you something here real quick, and then we're going to call it an evening. So I'm just tinting in right now. And I'm going to blend my medium in with this dark line here. Wanda, you still with me? Rhonda, you still with me? Angela. Or Ashley. I'm sorry, Ashley. I didn't mean to call you Angela. Excuse me. Forgive me. Okay, now this is my medium, so while I've got this pencil in hand, I'm going to go ahead and work my medium next to my dark area here. There's a band in that wood. See it? Now I'm just roughing that in right now because I want to show you something. Okay. Sandy, okay, good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my black. This is called a bison black, which means it's a little lighter. Let's see. Don't want to use 9 iron. Actually, I'm going to use a storm gray. Now, I want you to watch this. I'm taking my storm gray and I'm adding a little bit of shadow now. Underneath the rim. Don't go crazy with it because it's an abundant color, right? Vibrant color. Butterfly Kisses, I'm just touching that. And I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. I mean, guys, I'm like barely touching this. And see how we've got a nice distinct area here. And this is what Wanda was talking about earlier, is she's going ahead and adding little extras to her grayscale. So under this rim, I just want that shot of darker gray for shadow. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Zoom out. Questions? Drop Dead Gorgeous. And my question back to you is, does this piece tell a story now, based on what I've done? And again, guys, I love it. See that darker streak of blue right here that I added? My medium, I darkened up my medium a little bit. I love how that looks there. There you go. So again, my question back to you is, yeah, I know he's been waiting a long time for me to get him out of his basket. So my question back to you is, what story does your picture tell? Make your pictures tell a story by the way that you color it. Okay, guys. Rita's falling asleep. Good night, good night, good night. Love you guys. I had a ball doing this for you tonight. I was on a roll, I'll tell you. Okay, guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Blessings to you guys. I hope you learned something. And I hope you had fun. Alright guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Bye.